All right, let's just jump right into episode 4 of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. I'm Perry the Pothead Picker, and I keep going back and forth on that name. Some days I'm like, that name fucking rules, and some days I'm like, should I change it? I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it for now. I think I say this every goddamn week. Live in a cycle. Anyway, it's been a few weeks since I podcasted. That's kind of the reason why I've waited to put the show out. I've been kind of staggering the episodes a little bit as far as when I've been recording them, and they're going to be backlogged, but it's not really, a topical podcast. Just kind of recap what I've been doing in the reselling world, just kind of, my journey as a I fucking hate that word. Why did I just say that? Sorry. My journey as a single, fuck, my wife's going to kill me, as a stay-at-home dad. So there's some parenting shit. I don't really have to explain. This is the 4th episode. I think I explained in the first episode. If not, I'll just do a fucking trailer. But yeah, I just talk about like what I do reselling. And so it's been a few weeks. So let's see. There's been like a shocking lack of yard sales this year. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if I've said this before. It's not gotten better. I don't know what. I mean, I'm not like panicking. I'm still finding stuff, but it's just I enjoy going to yard sales during yard sale season. Like I enjoy going to like 10 to 15 yard sales. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy like getting a ton of shit at one sale and then like calling it a day and going home early sometimes too. But like I like to just, get out, drive around and just hit sales. And there just hasn't been a ton of sales. And every sale that I've hit some fire sales. So I'm not like saying the sky is falling, but just my expectations versus like what has actually transpired. It's just a lot less. There's a lot less sales than I thought that I would be going to this year. And again, like the weather, even this Saturday is like it's looking like it might be raining again. So I don't know what's going on. Global warming, conspiracies, I don't know. I just know I wish that there was more yard sales. So that's the thing. I'm already like behind on stuff. I'm even thinking about doing a death pile giveaway. Like, again, it's so long in between when I do these that I apologize if I repeat shit. And after this episode, I'm probably not going to apologize for repeating shit. I'm just going to like talk about it. And if I repeat myself, I apologize. Anyway. Fuck, I just lost my train of thought because I was apologizing for saying something again. That's really fucked up. Anyway, yeah, there's a lack of sales, and I just would have thought that there would have been more. Oh man, I really had a good thought there, and I can't remember what it was. Fuck me. Well, anyway, so since I last podcasted, if it comes to me, I'll just jump right into that. But yeah, since I last podcasted, we took our kids on a camping trip. So we did our first family camping trip, and it wasn't like everybody's, keeps saying how brave they think we are, for taking our kids camping. I mean, obviously the nights suck, but the nights suck right now anyway. So it's like, you just add an air mattress, which I never sleep on an air mattress. So I just go into it being like, all right, I'm not going to sleep this weekend. And, I usually just go to bed really early the day we get back. We only did 2 days. We did Friday, Saturday, and then we went back on Sunday. So it would have been cool to have like one extra longer day. But again, the nights, the first night we got there, it was thunder and lightning in the middle of the night. And the kids stayed asleep until like the last crack of thunder. And then that woke up my youngest, and then she woke up my oldest, and so they both woke up. And then they, of course, fell back to sleep. I just couldn't fall back to sleep because I was on an air mattress. And then the next night, everybody was tired. We went to the lake all day, swam, and so the kids were just exhausted. They passed out. Everybody passed out. And the night before, we didn't have a neighbor on one side of us, and like some point during the day, that site got filled. And they had a kid that just in the middle of the night woke up screaming. And yeah, it was, then woke up my kids, and then, the same thing. They fell back to sleep, and I couldn't fall back to sleep. So I did end up hitting a yard sale because we just went to a camping site like right in town. We rented golf carts and shit. It was cool. My daughter was having a blast driving around on them. And, it wasn't like, we were there forever. We did a fire, so we did some s'mores, and it was just kind of to test it out and see how it was with the kids. I think we definitely want to get an RV, but this time we just did tent. And yeah, that was enough for me. Sorry for yawning. I'm obviously exhausted. So anyway, so I got to go to a yard sale, and there was some drama, I guess. So I got there first at this sale, and they were like just kind of barely set up, but they had put an ad out that said that they had plastic, I forget what outdoor plastic Christmas decorations or something like that. And so I knew that meant blow mold. And anytime they don't know what it's, the term is, that's usually a good sign that like they don't know that it's valuable. And then it also said that they had heavy metal CDs. So I got there early. I was the first one there. And my wife wanted me to take the kid with me. So the kid was sleeping in the car. So I left the car running, and I got out, and I just kind of walked over. I'm always like polite, and I kind of feel out how they are. And I go, hi, I'm here for the sale, blah, blah, blah. I don't mind waiting if you need some time. And, sometimes they're like, no, you're fine. Sometimes they'll tell you to wait. And so she's like, yeah, if you don't mind waiting. And then I tell her, I'm just interested in a few of the items. And she's like, yeah, okay. So I get in the car, and I see another car pull up like a couple minutes after that, and I recognize the guy as another reseller. So I just immediately started getting out of the car. And so he like parks, gets out, and starts walking towards the blow molds. And so I just say from across the yard sale, you know what I mean? Like, because at this point, I just want to wait in my car, I've already talked to the lady. It's clear I'm there waiting for the sale. But resellers are just, they make you have to be like aggressive, and, and I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? I was there first. Lady asked me to wait. I'm going to wait. So I just get out and go over, and I just say from across the way, I'm here for, it was like, how much for the 3 blow molds together? And the guy's like, oh, I'm buying them. Well, sorry, I was waiting in the car. They asked me to wait, but this is what I was here for. And he goes, oh, well, you shouldn't have been waiting in your car. And so he starts being, like a dick about it. But I've found that if you just be like super, super polite, you know what I mean? Those people just like kind of come undone and like, fuck themselves over. And so he just started being like more and more of a dick. And I was just like, I waited was waiting politely. They asked me to wait. I didn't want to like run up in here like I own the place and just start grabbing stuff that doesn't belong to me. But this is what I was here for. I was waiting. And the lady was like, yeah, he was here first waiting. And so like she ended up taking my money, giving me change. So once he saw that was done, you know what I mean? I still remembered the metal CDs. So he was all distracted by the blow molds. So that's when I was like, oh, and I was also here for the heavy metal CDs. And so the lady kind of whispers where they are and sends me over. And then there's a big tote of them. And so I asked the girl how much for all of them. I'm like, there's a bunch of, it's all obscure metal. I've recognized a couple of the names, but it's just all obscure metal, And so she has to make a call. She, gets on the phone, calls, I think it was her boyfriend. And she's like, 25 for all of it. But as this is happening, the other reseller like starts walking over. He starts looking over towards the CDs, and the lady who, had defended me earlier was like, "Oh, he made an offer on all the CDs," and the guy was like, "No, he didn't make an offer. He's just waiting to see how much they are." And so the lady was like 25, and I was like, "I'll take them all," and he just walked off mad. He did end up buying like a Halo statue, which I would have liked to have gotten to, but whatever. I can't be, He got to it first. I wasn't going to bitch about it like him. And so then that guy left, and there was literally like there was like one other sale, and it was like an hour later. And I was like, I'll swing by on my way back to the campground after I dropped the blow molds off at home. And so I'm talking to them, and I had sent them a message asked if they had any heavy metal t-shirts, and the girl was like, oh, we had a ton of them, but my boyfriend or so and so donated them, and she didn't know where he donated them to. So that was a bummer. And so they did say they had a lot more stuff. I left my card, and they ended up pulling out like some Mortal Kombat statues or figures, like these big figures. Probably get like $20 to $40 a pop, and then this Joker statue. So that'll probably get some money for. But I just sold, basically I pulled all I went through and I scan each CD. I just basically do it while we're watching TV or something at night. I just scan all the CDs, find the ones that are valuable. I consider valuable $15 and up. You know what I mean? If it's like $10, maybe I'll consider selling it. But usually the, CDs are like, $4 to $8 with shipping sometimes, and free shipping. So it's selling CDs. It's took me a long time to figure out how to do it, but you just have to get them so cheap that you can make some money. So basically I sell them at like, I try to sell them at a cost that's like other resellers can buy, because a lot of times people are going to pay, up for it. So I started at $400 on the rest. So I basically took all of the ones that were valuable, and I took the rest out. And made it into a big lot, and I put it up for $400. And after a couple days, sorry, I needed some water. After a couple days, I had a little bit of interest. So I think I had one person, I sent an offer of like $350, and then I think somebody made me an offer of $310 after they countered that, and I took the $310. So basically $25, and then I sold one CD at the same time for $25. So $25, and then the whole lot of CDs for $310, and I still have probably 10 individual CDs listed, for 10 and up usually. And yeah, so that was a good pickup. And I still have the Mortal Kombat figures. I still have the blow molds, which I basically paid. So I paid $15 for the blow molds, 5 each, $25 for the CDs, and then I got what else did I get? I'm trying to remember. I got something else because somehow I got to 30. I got some DVDs. I think I got some wrestling DVDs and like a video game. So anyway, I think it came to $30 plus the 15, 45. So I think I ended up paying like 55 with the figures. She wanted like $3 a piece for the figures, and I ended up paying just 10 because it was a good deal. And so I ended up paying 55 total, and yeah, 310 plus the 25, 335 minus your fees. I'm still like way in the profit, and I still have the blow molds, which I'm trying to sell locally on Facebook Marketplace, but I have only gotten scam messages, so I might just put them on eBay local pickup. I've done eBay local pickup before, and it's worked out in the past, so especially for blow molds. I could ship them. I've shipped them in the past, and I really don't feel like doing it. Anytime I go to the post office, I usually have my kids now. It's really hard to get to the post office without the kids because we're just so busy right now. And so I just have to I would have to carry it in. If I meet somebody, I can just meet them somewhere, or they can come to the house. So depending on how sketchy they look. So, but if it comes down to it and I have to ship them, I'll ship them, but I'll just end up selling them. I'm already profitable on them. I could sell them for like $50 a piece on Marketplace and be good. So anyway, that was I don't know if I was in the wrong for that. I don't think so. I don't care if I wasn't. I was there first. I should have stood out there and just waited, but again, I don't like to breathe down people's necks, and usually in my area nobody's comes that early. I'm usually like the first one, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I recognize him. I see him all the time too, so I'll see him again. But I don't give a shit. I'm friendly with a lot of resellers, but there's a lot of them that are just like dicks. And he's like my direct competition, and he usually has like another dude with him. So, whatever, fuck him. He didn't have his little fucking bodyguard or whatever with him. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to fight this dude. But I did say to the lady, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. Like, if this is making you uncomfortable, and she was like, no, it's fine. I'll sell them to you. You know what I mean? And I said it in front of him too, because, you know what I mean? If I was him, this is what I would have done. Oh, okay, you got the blow molds. Where are the metal CDs? You know what I mean? I would have just pivoted to the next thing, because he just focused on the blow molds and try to rather than be like, okay, I saw you parked here. I was clearly parked there waiting, and rather than be like, oh, he should have just gone for the metal CDs, but he just dropped the ball. Can't let your emotions get the best of you. I don't know. I just am fine in confrontation. You know what I mean? I don't like to do it, and I used to do it a lot more when I was younger. I think that's why. And also, when I was younger, I drank a lot more, so I just would, I would drink and get into confrontations. But now that I'm older and I don't really drink, it's still, it's that repetition of just being in confrontation. It's just, I don't mind. And so I just stay calm, and I'm always polite. And they even said that. They're like, oh, because you were nice, we'll sell you this extra stuff. And, so I just always am nice. Just be nice. If the resellers in your areas are dicks. That's happened to me before, where people brought out more stuff for me because they were like, oh, this other person was a dick and you weren't a dick. It's like, all right. And a lot of times it drives the other person crazy too, because you're just being nice. You're like, oh, I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm I was standing up for myself while just being super overly polite. I did basically take the blow mold and pick it up. He tried to take it out of my hand. I just kind of yanked it. And so yeah, it was pretty petty, but once I sold the CDs for $300, my wife was like, oh yeah, it was worth it. So anyway, on to the next topic I have written down here, because I've only got so much time, and I'm not really concerned that I'm going to run out of time, because it's just basically, however long I can ramble until I just lose steam. But so I was at a used book sale. I go to the used book sale. I'm not really big into books. There's people have those scanners. I've thought about getting them, but that just, I had like these Stephen King books that were given to me, and even they took me so long just because I feel like I don't know enough about them. I'm sure they're super easy, but it's not my favorite thing in the world to sell. I know some people sell them a lot. So I go to the used book sales to look. I've gotten lucky on comics before. Sometimes people put comics in there. I've gotten lucky on video games. I found a GameCube Mario Party. I forget which Mario Party game. I opened it up and it was Mario Party for Wii that was in there. So that was a lot of fun. But I mean, it was still a decent game. I still sold each individually, but it just sucks. Because, I thought it was going to be... Plus, I was going to keep it. I was going to keep them. So I ended up just selling the case. I didn't feel like buying the game. So I figured if it was meant to be, I'll find it again. So I'm just getting over another cold. So sorry, I'm a little sniffly. Yeah, so anyway, I'm at this used book sale. And I got there early. Because if you're not there early, like this huge line forms. And... these two girls come up behind me, and I have this shirt that I made that says, like, sell me your old video games, blah, 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 all the stuff that I buy. And so this girl comes up and she's talking to her friend. The t-shirt's not really important right this second. It'll be important later. And so she's talking to her friend, and she says, like, what the fuck does she say? She says... I started following one of the actors from Barney the Purple Dinosaur on Instagram. I guess he was like a child actor. That's what I gathered from the way she said it. I guess he was a child actor on Barney the Dinosaur. So I'm sure if you're of a certain age, you know who Barney the Purple Dinosaur is. I think he's still on, but yeah, Barney the Purple Dinosaur. So she's like, so I don't know which version, you know what I mean? I don't know how old this girl was. She was younger than me, so it might have been like a different, I don't even know which child actor this was. But she goes, I followed this child actor on Instagram. He was, Barney the Purple Dinosaur. And he posted a picture of him as a kid. And I said, oh, cute. And he said, you're the sweetest. And then her friend was like, well, you are the sweetest. And then that was the whole conversation. It was the dumbest conversation I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, why would you tell somebody that? Like, that's something that you just think to yourself. And yeah, it was just like, especially in public. Like, I was on my phone just kind of, you know what I mean? I list when I'm in line waiting for stuff. And so I'm listing on my phone. But of course, like, I'm looking for any excuse to not be engaged in what I'm doing. And then I hear this shit. And she's just like, I followed a child actor who was on Barney. I followed him. And on a picture of him as a kid, I said that he was cute. Like, what the fuck? And I know the girl was just like, well, yeah, you are the sweetest, because she was just, her friend. But I mean, maybe she was like, she just didn't see anything. She thought it was a good story. You know what I mean? Maybe she was engaged and she was like, this is an amazing story. Life-changing, maybe. But anyway, then the conversation shifted. I hear the girl say, is that your business on your shirt? And so I'm like, I'm wearing this shirt, and so I turn around and I'm like, oh, yeah, and I tell her, but anyway, she took a picture because I need a business card holder. I used to have a business card holder when I sold cell phones, because I had business cards all the time. And then once I stopped selling cell phones, I was like, oh, I don't need this shit anymore. And I got rid of it. And now I need cards, because I always forget to bring my cards. So, and I need to get new cards with QR codes. I dropped the ball on that. I should have gotten QR codes, but I think I'm going to do that next time. I might just do it now, like just order them and then just these other ones, I don't even know. Put them in like, I don't even know. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that was a whole fun conversation. And the t-shirt has actually worked a few times, if you're wondering. So I've had a few people that nobody's actually like reached out, but have started a few conversations. I think if I had the business card to go with it, with the QR code, then I would be like, you know what I mean? And the QR code would just go to like my link tree and then have all my shit there. So I think that's the move, the next move. I just gotta bite the bullet and be like, just do it. So I don't know. Maybe they'll give me a discount because I messed up. Who knows? That's how this country works, right? I fucked up. Can I have a discount, please? Please. But anyway, this weekend. So yeah, this weekend is we're doing a thing for a friend's birthday. So it's like a guy's night. And those are always fun. Get way too drunk. I don't even like drinking anymore. And anytime I do, I'm like, I regret it. But lately I've been pretty good about, just because I have kids and stuff, and I'm like, I know I have to be up in the morning with them. I drink like a beer and then I drink a water. Beer, water. And just do that. And then take like a liquid IV. Drink a liquid IV before bed. Not even before bed, just like earlier in the night. And then that way. But we're doing like you pay for hibachi to come to the house. So I don't know if that's like just completely classy or like trash. Because I don't know. It's typically, I don't know. Hibachi, I don't think it gets I don't know if it gets a bad rap or what, but like, you know, typically people think it's pretty trashy. But I don't know, it's pretty cool to have it like come to your house, so that might like kind of negate it. I think it's trashy when you're like sitting with other people, but when it's just like private event, I think that makes it, you know, you're okay with that. So I'll have to put that question into the Are You Garbage podcast. I don't know. It's going to be fun. I know that. I'm going to get some sake. It's hard because like Fridays I need to do errands, or like when you try to do adult errands, like I want to go get cigars and some sake. But I've got a child, so you can't. Can you? I don't know. I might just try it. You know what I mean? If I just have her strapped on me and I walk into a liquor store, they're going to be like, excuse me, sir, you have to get that baby out of here. They probably do. It's because like I think it's if I remember correctly from when I had my bartending shit. Man, back in the day when I used to bartend, I had a kid, because they'll send people into you to try to get you, you know what I mean? The ABC, I think it was called. It's like the alcohol board. But they'll send somebody in, and it's like clearly a kid. Like this kid came in and he was so like just like a young kid. And I think he asked for a Corona. I still remember. He's like, "Can I have a Corona?" And I go, "Can I have your ID?" He goes, "I don't have one." And I go, "Well, I can't serve you a drink if you don't have an ID." And he goes, "Okay." And he just walks out. And that was it. That was the end of it. Sorry, that's gross. But I don't know what to do. I'm sick and getting over it. And there's no tissues near me. And I only have so much time. So you have to listen to me hawk loogies. Anyway. Yeah. And then I guess we got a letter that said that I passed. I was like, yeah, no shit, I passed, because that kid was like 12. But I definitely, like back in the day, I used to go get into places all the time. I had a fake ID that worked a lot of places. I used to like pay bouncers to get me into places. I just had friends that would get me into play. Like, there was just a lot of ways to get into bars underage. And then, like, so much so, like, I went to bars so much before I turned 21 that once I turned 21, I was just like, I like to go sit at a bar now, like, as an adult. You know what I mean? I don't like to go, like, dance. I didn't barely dance. I just would go and get drunk and try to hit on chicks. The keyword was try. And, I just mostly ended up embarrassing myself. But I didn't get kicked out. I got kicked out of some places in Boston. I remember I got kicked out of a place because I tapped my buddy in the balls, and then he tapped me back, and I bent over in front of the bouncer because I got hit in the balls. They kicked me out because they thought I was hammered. So, which I was, but then we were trying to go to other bars in the area, and they basically told they have a network. They told all the other bars that I was too drunk. Either that or I just looked like I was too drunk. More. That's probably more likely. Yeah, that's probably more likely. I remember thinking that back in the day, being like, they called every bar and told them that I was fucking 86 from this first bar. 86 is a restaurant term. But by the way, if you are in restaurant and you haven't watched The Bear, it's not the greatest show ever. But if you work restaurant, it's just a cool show, to watch them, It's just a cool perspective on a restaurant show. There's, some episodes that are really hard to watch. But, yeah, we're enjoying it so far. We're mostly through the second season. But, yeah, just basically this show is just me going on tangents, if you haven't figured it out. I'm hoping that to release the podcast sometime in August. I should have more time. I'm going to try to edit the first 4 today. That's on the agenda. Once my kid gets up, I got to go to the post office, and then we're going to go look for Ninja Turtles toys. I've been trying to collect the Mutant Mayhem toys. They're only $10 each, which is cool. So they keep selling out a lot of them. But I got the first 3. I got I got Donatello, Leonardo, and Raphael, and then the Turtle Tots or whatever. I forget which 2 I got, but it's one package. So I got those, and then my wife ordered me the Michelangelo one with her Target order. So I got that one. Then I found 2 more once Target finally restocked. I got Superfly and Leatherhead. So I'm still trying to get Bebop and Rocksteady. Splinter. There's a few more. I can't remember who else I need to get. But those things are cool. I'm trying to get all of them. It's been fun trying to collect them. They're cheaper, so I can get a couple each week and not feel like I'm, breaking the bank, and then I'll just stash them. I want to get protectors and put them up, but I think they're going to have to get stashed for now until we get a place with a bigger man cave. And, yeah. So anyway, just got completely sidetracked. So yeah, so sometime in August when I have a little bit more time, try to do the podcast release. And, oh man, I'm tired. Yeah, I'll try to get that podcast out. So this will be the 4th episode, obviously. I'm going to try to get either my wife on or somebody, to an interview or something. Not even an interview. I don't want to interview. I just want to do a podcast with another reseller. So I've got a couple people in mind that I can ask. So yeah, that's and then once I get that going, and I figure out how to edit again. That's part of it is just teaching myself how to do it again, and because I don't want to do it on my slow ass computer. It drove me nuts. So I'm trying to do it on my Mac, and so it's gonna have to learn a whole new thing. Now I know when I used to sell cell phones, old people would come in and their phones would just be completely fucked, and they wouldn't know how to do anything. They know how to do Facebook and fucking Candy Crush, but they don't know how to fix it or do anything else if they fuck it up. And you know, you think about the fact, like, about the feeling they must feel when they're like not wanting to have to learn how to do that and shit. That's how I feel right now, because it's like I just don't feel like having to learn how to do it on a new platform. And it probably will only take me like 30 to 45 minutes, but it's just like taking that time. Even taking time to podcast, like taking an hour to podcast, is hard for me to just stop, be like, I need to like do listing, I need to do all this other stuff. So that's like the life of a reseller is just, it's nonstop. You're constantly trying to find more inventory, bring new inventory in, list inventory, get rid of old inventory, get rid of stuff that like needs to be donated, pick up other stuff that needs to like be sorted through, to bring mail, like be a husband, a father, a what the fuck else, business owner, do the yard stuff, do the house stuff, especially if you're a homeowner. So there's just like so many different aspects to owning a reselling business that you don't consider when you start doing reselling. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I think like maybe a regular job would be easier, but I don't like, I would fucking hate it, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like that I'm contemplating a regular job. I'm just saying that people who tell you to get a real job, which that's never actually happened to me. I just have only heard like people talk about it on either YouTube or on Instagram. Is like people tell you to get a real job, or that people look down on you for being a reseller. Everybody I always tell thinks it's cool. I don't know if it's because of the way I talk about it, you know what I mean? But like, I'm the type of person, like, I won't bring it up unless you ask me, and then I'm just like, I won't shut the fuck up about it. You'll just, you'll be like, hey, so what have you been up to? And before you even finish your sentence, I'm talking about how I like almost punched a guy over blow molds. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's just kind of, I just went on a little ramble, you know. That's what happens sometimes. Shit happens. We're currently potty training. My oldest, my daughter's turned 3 a couple of months ago. Not even a couple months ago. Earlier this month. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm sorry. She turned a couple of weeks ago. So she's, she's a smart girl. She learns things pretty quickly. So, she just like doesn't want to potty train. She did it once when almost a year ago. She, took a shit on the potty, pissed on the potty, and then that was it. It's like, no, I don't have any interest. So I don't know if she just was like, oh, I learned how to do it, I don't need to do that. Or she just, I might have embarrassed her because I was trying to like hype her up, and get her excited. And so I don't know if I overdid it and embarrassed her or what, but I don't know. Who knows? So we started doing a reward system because we're like, she's figures shit out. She likes getting treats. She likes, so this way she can also earn it. She can kind of earn her prizes. And so, yeah, this morning she peed on the potty. It's just a process. And then I'm thinking about like, then it's going to just be even more messy. Like with diapers, it's contained and it's a pain in the ass. Yeah, you have to change diapers, and you're changing 2 diapers, especially as, as they get older, it gets nastier, and it's just a whole big thing. So to have one out of diapers or starting to get out of diapers is great, but then I'm thinking of like, man, it's just going to be a whole new set of like issues. And because my daughter already like pissed all over the toilet. It's not like I don't piss all over the toilet either, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it's going to go beyond just that. So we'll see once we get into pooping and shit. So anyway, that's just, part of this podcast is reselling. Part of it is stay-at-home dad stuff. And potty training constitutes stay-at-home dad stuff. It's just one of those things. So I did something, I don't know, I think it was pretty dumb. Wasn't my favorite thing that I did. So I had those Legos that were like a huge pain in the ass to, kind of sort through, make sure they were all complete. So I got those all sorted and sold them on Facebook Marketplace for $250. So I paid $5 for them. So $5 and then made $250. And I'd sold a few other things from that sale, so I think I'd already made my money back. And there was also like 3 other sets, less valuable sets, but I can still bundle them all together, and it won't be as much work because I'm just going to do like a whole big lot. And so yeah, I sold that one for $250. So basically 5 into $250. And then like 4 days later, this lady who I've been going back and forth with, she keeps telling me she has these vintage toys. And then, so I go over there and she's got a ton of stuff. And there's like a bin of vintage figures and all types of different things. And so I basically get all the stuff together and we come up with a price. And she's like, goes with $200. For some reason, I should have talked her down. I don't know why I didn't. But I just was like, yeah, that's fine. And I know I'll make money. It's just, I know I'll make money. I'll probably make a few $100s. It's not like the issue. It's just there's so much stuff and it's a lot of work. And it's like I could have taken that $200 and just put it into something else that's less work. So I've already made back 50 of it. So I'm not too concerned. There were some good figures in there. And there was this other set of Monsuno, I think it was called. So that stuff looks like it sells really well. So I've got that stuff ready to list. That's going to be listed in the next couple days. And hopefully that'll make most of my money back. And then I can just kind of sell off some stuff at yard sales and, So I always like to have stuff for a yard sale so people come and, I think I'm going to do the yard sale during the townwide. They do 2 townwide yard sales now because I don't know why, and I think I'm going to do it during the second townwide yard sale because every time I do the townwide yard sale, I end up driving around all day trying to find good sales, and it's just like resellers and you know what I mean? So I might as well be one of those resellers having a sale and just have like a really dope sale and get all the resellers to come and buy stuff and just make a bunch of money. And then I can probably go out for a little bit too, you know what I mean? Once my initial boom is done, I can have my wife watch it and go out for a little bit. But yeah, it's just been dry out here for yard sales, man. Anyway, yeah, so took that Lego flip and basically $200 into some stuff that I can make a few $100s on. Started with $5. So can't really be mad at it. I'll get it done. It's easy too because there's a lot of different lots. So there's some Ninja Turtles from 2002 that I can lot up. So it's not going to be that bad. I can kind of, make the money back quickly. And then I went to a sale and the guy had 2 bins of cars and I should have just walked away. Unless I can see some old cars, but I found a few things in there that I was like, oh, this is, cool. And the guy was like, make me an offer on all of it. And I didn't want to. I was like, I honestly don't want to. I was like, I don't want them. He's like, well, if you take them both, you can have them for $25. And of course, for that price, I'm like, all right, I'll take them. So those will probably end up in my yard sale pile. I pulled a few things out, and he threw in this Soul Calibur book that sells for around $15. So I'll make some of my money back on that, and then, I'll make the money back. It's not the point. It's just, do I want to spend all this time doing all that shit, So, and then it just becomes a mess because I have to dig through it, and I try to get through it as quick as I can, just because I don't like that. My wife doesn't like having that shit lying around. So, man. Anyway, sorry. I'm so sorry for fucking yawning all the time. I really am. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really not. Yeah, NFL season's right around the corner. I don't know if anybody does fantasy football, but yeah, I do a couple leagues. Been doing it for a while. I'm a Patriots fan. I'm glad that they suck right now. As a Patriots fan, because Patriots fans, come on, we're getting like labeled as some of the most annoying fans. So we need to lose for a little bit and be okay with losing. You know what I mean? Don't call for like Bailey Zappi mid-season over Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones will be fine now that he has an actual coach. Like last year, we had Matt Patricia and I forget who, Joe Judge. I can't remember who the fuck what the dude's name is. But they were running the offense and it was horrible. It was terrible. So we'll see. I would have liked to have gotten like a good wide receiver. I know we got Juju Smith-Schuster, but man, do I have zero faith in Juju Smith-Schuster. I have zero excitement for Juju Smith-Schuster. He was good when like he was behind Antonio Brown, but like once he was decent with the Chiefs, I guess. But I'm just not really excited. He just seems like the type of player that will, kind of be below average with the Patriots. But we'll see. It's a good time to sell NFL stuff if you sell that type of stuff. I like to sell sports stuff, certain sports stuff. Sports stuff is like, there's so much, you know what I mean? Anytime you go to a sale and there's a ton of sports. I just went to one sale this last week and like I had a ton of sports cards and just like nothing was priced. And I was like, are you selling them by the binder? Like he didn't have any. He's like, no, not by the binder. Like, so they're individual. So I didn't know how much he wanted for prices and stuff. So I just kind of left him alone. I did get a cool vintage jacket, like a St. Louis Blues jacket. So I'm just it's kind of smelled like cigarette smoke. It was pretty dirty. I just did a little bit of OxyClean and dish detergent, soaked it, and then washed it, let it out to dry, and it's like the colors look great. Everything looks great. It just has a slight odor of cigarettes, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it. So I just put it in the freezer and then took it out, and it still smells. I might just wash it one more time. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes that happens. It's not the worst thing that it's like I've ever had. I've had some stuff that smelled like just straight up like you just have to get rid of it. So I usually put that stuff in my yard sale if it's like stuff that looks okay, because flea market people will just turn around and do the same thing. So it's just a cycle of switching hands. Who knows? I still can't believe that I heard that conversation about the Barney guy. It's just such a stupid conversation. I don't know. It didn't even like really annoy me in the moment. I remember hearing it and just thinking like, what is? I thought they were a lot older, and then I turned around and I was like, these people are too young to be having this conversation. And just it was just a very mindless interaction. But if the girl hears this that took a picture of my shirt, I can buy any of your boyfriend's old stuff. So that's right, she took a picture of my shirt and said that her boyfriend was selling his stuff. I don't think I said that earlier. I was too sidetracked by the fact that this chick was creeping on a little boy. Anyway, I'm going to probably end up wrapping it up here soon. I kind of rolled through most of the topics I wanted to talk about. I just picked up a copy of Pokemon Soul Silver. Man. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with my Pokemon games. I found one of my Pokemon games from when I was a kid at my mom's house when we cleaned out her house when we all moved. But she doesn't know where the rest of mine went. So I found a few of my things, but like the rest of my stuff I couldn't find. And so I just like I haven't been able to sell Pokemon games. So I've just been keeping them. So I have like a pretty decent sized collection of them. But I don't have like the cases for all of them. I'm not like a completionist. I just like to play them. I actually had when we had my daughter's birthday party, my cousin's kid came over. And anytime he comes over, like he just starts he'll run in and just launch in talking to me about Pokemon. I'll talk to him like an adult and shit about Pokemon. So I think that's why. And so he's starting to tell me about this new Pokemon shit that's coming out, and so like, oh, you want to see like the new Pokemon games I got, and I'll take him out, and so he'll play. He likes to play the Pokemon games, but obviously, I'm not keeping a bunch of Pokemon games just for when people come over. So I like to play them. So yeah, I don't need the cases. If I get the case, then fine, I'll keep it. But it's just, and a lot of times I don't know why, like the DS and Game Boy Advance, those games are like those are games that just people just threw away the cases. I think it was because like most of them were cardboard. But yeah, the people just like threw them away. Just kind of a bummer. I wish I had kept a lot of my old shit. Got rid of a lot of stuff. Man. Yeah, that's why I do this. That's why I resell. If you're still listening, you've not passed out after the fact that I've yawned like 50 plus times. Are you excited for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? This will probably come out after that's already come out. So if you've seen the Ninja Turtles movie, was it good? Did you like it? I need to figure out how I'm going to go to see it. Going to see movies when you have kids is hard if you don't have a steady... I mean, we need to get a babysitter. That's the thing. I think at this point we just need to find a babysitter. But I don't know. It's hard to like figure out who you can trust. I'd be one of those people that would have cameras everywhere. I'd be like, I'll get a babysitter, but we'd have to get cameras everywhere. So my daughter's like old enough to where I think she could like articulate if somebody was doing something they're not supposed to. And I don't even just like talking about like, you know what, but I'm talking about like stealing shit, like inviting people over, breaking shit, stuff like that, you know what I mean? But like my daughter's old enough and can communicate well enough, I think, at this point that would be like she'd like be a good little snitch. So I'd be like, hey, what happened? Plus she like repeats a lot of shit now. She just is like, you'll say something and she'll repeat it. Okay. She hasn't really sworn. She doesn't like curse. I curse all the time. I don't curse all the time, you know what I mean? I curse more like just conversing. But when I'm home with the kids, I'm not, I'm conversing with them. I'm not going to be like, hey, what the fuck's up, dude? You know what I mean? But like if I'm talking to people, it just happens. But she hasn't, yeah. So I think it's because we don't really make a big deal out of it. It's just, I'm not like, oh, what the fuck, oh shit. I didn't mean to say it. Sorry, fuck, oh, fuck, It's just kind of like, it happens. Let's see. Oh, we're like right at almost an hour, just at like 54 minutes. Ooh-wee. I could probably do a couple more minutes. I'm trying to think. This weekend's not looking great for yard sales, but I don't have a kid to drag around with me, so I'm going to go out early. I've been going out like Friday. Oh my God. Fuck, I'm sorry. I've been going out like Friday nights and scoping out, seeing if there's signs up. But yeah, I feel like it's so hard because there just hasn't been a ton. Has not been a ton. So I'm hoping that this weekend, like tonight, a bunch pop up. Like the weather just clears up and everybody's like, yeah, we're going to have a yard sale this weekend. We'll see. Hopefully boys' night. Boys' night is cool. Hopefully it's a good time. It should be fun. Celebrating my homie. Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it because I don't think I have anything else to talk about this week. I think I done ran out of stuff to talk about. Plus my nose is all stuffy and I keep yawning. If you're still listening at this point, I love you. Thank you. And I'll talk to you again next week.